Hey there, and welcome to GovConHacks. I'm your
Hello, everybody. I'm going to stop screen sharing so that I can talk to you. We are here to do something a little different. We're going to try this every other week in between our podcasts. We're going to do a little training. So, I want to essentially teach you guys today how to do proposals with ChatGPT because at the end of the day, you're going to use it. So, I want to teach you how to use it responsibly. And the best way I can do that, honestly, is to show you. So I'm going to screen share and I'm going to use an example of a solicitation that I have. And we are going to use that to essentially write a response to a solicitation. And I'll show you the prompts. And I also have a cool little cheat sheet I put together for you not only to write proposals, but to also think like a capture manager. And what I mean by that is how to think like a salesperson. You want to have prompts to not just help you write a compliant proposal. I think people forget that it's not just about writing proposals. This is essentially your sales tool. So I am going to show you how to essentially put these prompts together to help you get some intelligence to use as data for your proposal to make it better. Okay. So bear with me while I go ahead and yes, of course, support us, like, subscribe, press the little bell down below, all the things. All right. I'm going to do a screen share. Welcome to my ChatGPT screen. All right. I'm going to move you guys to the side and we can focus on ChatGPT. All right. So, for all of you that know ChatGPT, it is an amazing tool, but it's only as good as the information that you feed it, right? So, we are going to teach you today how to use the proper prompts to use this to your best. This is going to be your professional proposal writer. Okay. We have here a list of ChatGPT prompts for government contracting proposal writers. This is going to be your resource that I will put on a link that you can access after the course. So, doing pre proposal research and capture planning. That is for you to essentially learn market data, the research that Ashley is always talking about. This is how you're going to come up with your data. And AI is such an amazing tool. It can quickly help you find that data and then rewrite it into your response so that you can showcase to your customer that you understand their pain points. And this is how you intend to personally help them with those pain points with your solution. So, how we do that? When we're uploading a solicitation, we're going to want to do some homework prior to asking it to write. We want to know some data. We want some information. We want to know if they can summarize the key requirements so that we can understand it. I mean, let's be real. Sometimes you have 160 pages. This is going to give you like the quick summary. I also like to use this for my bid no bid approach. So I can look at that high level report of if I'm going to go after this or not. But the key requirements are so that you don't miss anything. What are the key requirements to the solicitation? What are they really requesting of me? What are the common evaluation criteria? So when we talk about evaluation, what is the contracting officer and the evaluators going to report on when they're looking through this proposal? Have you checked all the boxes? Have you managed the compliance from top to bottom based on the requirements that they have provided for you? This is going to help you kind of put that down into one solid location so you can make sure that you don't miss anything. This is huge. And normally we create what we call a compliance matrix, but ChatGPT can help you do that as well. Creating a SWOT analysis for your company in regards to responding to a solicitation. I find that this helps so much. So, a SWOT analysis is your strengths, your weaknesses, your opportunities, and your threats. It is all the data that you don't normally see or think about when you're responding. Most of the time, when you're responding to a proposal, you're thinking about yourself. It's just the way it is. When everyone starts with the executive summary, it's I. We are the greatest. We are the best. We are this. We are that. We have done this. We have done that. What you're not thinking about is your competition. What you're not thinking about is your weaknesses. What you're not thinking about is the customer and their pain points and where your opportunities lie. A SWOT analysis will allow you to see that in real time so that you can use that towards your decision making of how you're going to approach this response. So that's why it's really, really important. And you can see it kind of gives you some guidelines to put, the solicitation name or number, to summarize recent trends. This is also really important. Summarizing, and I think Ashley states this quite often, we're in a time in an administration where things are changing constantly. So, with that being said, so does the data, so do the trends. Everything is pivoting. Where do things lie? What worked last year doesn't work this year. So, this is why this is super important. We want to know what the agencies are spending their time, their resources, what are their pain points, what matters to them. So, that's essentially what this is for. Now, what are the key differentiators expected by this agency? Do they care now about innovation? Do they care about, resources? Do they care about, saving money, risk, minimizing that, minimizing cost, increasing efficiency? These are all keywords that if that is their target, if those are the things that they're looking for, those are the differentiators that they were looking for in a vendor. You want to know that so that you can make sure that you state that in your proposal. Make it a no-brainer and super, super easy for the evaluator to say yes to you. And then with that information, I like to then use it to optimize my proposal. I will take that information and pretty much state, now with all the information that we have now looked up and researched, let's go ahead and draft a executive summary to address the pain points of the agency based on the scope of work and the solicitations, and emphasizing the pain points and the solution that we solve. See how we did that? I didn't just draft an executive summary. I take all of that data and I use it to personalize it to the agency and to the solution that I provide. Because at the end of the day, this is a sale. All right, so let's do this as an example now. Let's get a solicitation. Lord knows I have a million of them somewhere, everywhere. Let's use an example here. All right, I have quite a few. Let's do this one. I like this one. All right, so we have a performance work breakdown structure. That is your performance-based work statement. This is all the stuff that we need to do, right? I have all of these attachments. Now, I know, most of you guys have done maybe some proposals and some have done no proposals, and that's fine. I mean, I'm doing this from a very beginner standpoint. See all the attachments? This can be very overwhelming. So looking at all of this, I would essentially go and upload this all into ChatGPT. So let's kind of do that now. I'm going to take all of this, put it in my desktop. And let's kind of take advantage of some of the prompts that I showed you. So ChatGPT has this really cool component now, this feature that they're doing that I really love. And what I use this as my data shelf. So you can create projects now. I've seen this in a lot of AI tools for proposal writing, and this is a recent feature that I quite enjoy because you can add files and you can also add instructions. So if I'm telling ChatGPT, you got to kind of tell ChatGPT who you are or who they need to be essentially. So you are a senior proposal writer that focuses on government contracting, right? You can kind of feed it. So now it knows who it is, right? You got to tell it who it is. Or it could be anyone. But you got to steer in the right direction because you want to personalize this and you want it to write the right way. So adding files. When I'm adding files, look at all this data I have. I'm going to add those files in there. Now, this is also an opportunity for you to also add your capability statement. Certain files won't go in there, and that's fine, as long as it has the instructions of the offer and the performance work. All right, so you can also put your capabilities in here. You can put your past performance. You can put your resume in here and the resume of your key personnel. You can put all of that data in here and be able to write a proposal where it's pulling from this data shelf all of the information that you've just fed it. So now you can pull and say, okay, based on the information that you know about me, and I'll use, myself as an example because why not? So if all the experience and all the things that it knows about me, what are my capabilities, right? What can I do? And how can I respond? So, for instance, if I want to reply to this opportunity, and let's go and put the performance of work statement in there. And actually, I have another one that I really like. Let's do this one. I already have all the documents in here. So we have capability statements. We have information. We have the transcripts from conversations that we've had with subject matter experts. And we have the solicitation. We're going to use this as an example. So draft me, and even more so, let's even go even further. Let's use the prompts. Draft an executive summary. Here we go. Draft an executive summary for a proposal to this agency. It already has all the documents, so you don't have to go dramatic with it. Offering the scope of work provided. Emphasize innovation, cost efficiency, and low risk. There's another thing I like to add here. When you are talking about technical, and this is for my IT folks, when you're talking about software development, DevSecOps, integration, AI, anything with innovation or tech acceleration, you want to understand that these evaluators are looking for you for a service. So they don't understand a lot of the technical information that you're putting into these proposals. And it is greatly emphasized that a lot of engineers, very intelligent, very knowledgeable, but not necessarily able to put pen to paper to make it simplified into layman's terms for an evaluator to read and understand. So when we're talking about technical data, you want to almost go and say, all right, please write this from a technical standpoint with the grade level of an 8th grader. 8th grader, 5th to 8th grade. You want them to be able to essentially write in layman's terms. And when writing a proposal, a technical proposal to any extent, you want to be able to write within an 8th grade reading. And that's just going to help so that they can understand it. It's going to simplify it. Still keep all the solutioning, still keep everything, but kind of just dumb it down in layman's terms for the evaluator to understand. That's just one key point that I want you to be aware of. All right, so drafting this executive summary. Let's see what they come up with. Oh, look at that. So awesome. An executive summary. So this team, BDJ, is looking to collaborate with another company. Automatically, it knows based on my capability statement in here that it's a woman-owned small business, that they're working with Mode Global Transportation, and they're proud to support this opportunity. It's already pulling out the solicitation information. It's pulled out capabilities, and it's pushing all my differentiators. Proven capability, unmatched capacity, with decades of combined experience in logistics and supply chain operations. And what's really nice about this is that it references the documents it takes that data from so that you can always refer back to it to make sure that it's accurate. But it's pretty much telling you where it's getting that information, and it provides reference. And at any point in time, ChatGPT pulls references from an outside source like the internet to research information. It will also provide those references as well in case you're writing like a white paper or a research paper where you have to, address and reference where you got that data. So that is a executive summary that it pitched out to me that I absolutely love. And I can copy and paste, or I can ask it to make it into a downloadable attachment, into a PDF version or a Word version. It will do that as well. So let's also look at some other things. Let's take a look at some of the prompts in regards to wanting to learn more about the agencies. Let's talk about, because we can sit here and write proposals all day, but I want you to understand where the data really changes and makes this different, because everyone can, put your information in ChatGPT and spit out a proposal. But what makes a winning proposal? And what makes a winning proposal is not only your solution, but how you do tell your story. I think people forget that this is an emotional experience. There are people at the end of that proposal that are reading. They want to understand your company. They don't get to see you. It takes away the human component when you're writing a proposal. So you have to remember there is a human at the other end. And because we're not face to face, you still have to find a way to create a connection. How you do that is by listening, understanding, and providing a solution. So with that comes data. So with this, I'm going to put in summarize. We're going to use one of our prompts, the key requirements of the solicitation. And it has the solicitation already, so we don't have to go further with that. All right. So the key solicitation requirements, look at this. I don't have to read all those documents. I don't have to go through all the amendments. It already has provided me a breakout. You are going to, this is the scope of work of what you're going to provide. This is the technical and operational requirements, the vehicles handling, personnel training that it requires, the integration in regards to technology, the performance and risk management associated with it. There's a subcontracting plan. It even goes as far as it tells me how I'm supposed to do pricing, invoicing, my past performance, how many volumes I have to write. I mean, the whole lot. This in itself is easy peasy. And look how it offers me even more solutions. If you need a compliance matrix or checklist to ensure everything is included in your response, I can provide that to you. Yes, please. Matrix that I can download into Excel. Nope. All right, and while it's doing that, let's take a look at creating a SWOT analysis. And look at that. There's a nice little Excel version that I can download. And while it's uploading that, put this in here. There we go. And now we have a compliance matrix that you can expand upon and make look nicer, of course. But these are the requirements broken out. If I want to create a checklist, I can. If I want to expand upon it and break it out into different volumes, I can. But now I have a checklist to reference to and to pretty much say, am I compliant or not? And this checklist is good for as you're going down the list and you're reviewing your proposal before submission, you're checking on all the requirements and making sure that you addressed it in your write-up when you were providing a response in the proposal. Now let's create a SWOT analysis because I want to know where we're strong and where we're not. I remember in college when we had to create a SWOT analysis. Now I could just ask this thing to make me a SWOT analysis in 5 seconds. It's amazing how time has changed. I know I sound old. All right, SWOT analysis. Strengths were established with government experience, massive logistics network, technology integration. We have food grade handling expertise and flexible subcontracting model. Awesome. Those are my strengths. But I don't want to just hear what's good about me. I want to prepare for what's bad about me because I want to be able to mitigate that risk and find a solution to fix it. So I have limited direct government past performance. Well, they do. So they need to partner. This helps me make decisions when I'm figuring out what capture looks like. I'm like, okay, obviously government experience is super important when you're bidding with the government. So maybe I need to partner with someone that has more government experience. So I'm bringing my strengths to the table and they can bring strengths that are my weaknesses to the table so we can make a full circle of strengths and mitigate our weaknesses. That's how you come together to partner on an opportunity. So these are the weaknesses. Also, high initial operational complexity. We're coordinating 170 locations. We got to figure out what that looks like very quick. So do we have the ability to scale? It's going to create, honestly, the answer, kind of you sitting down and having that conversation. So let's move forward. Opportunities, long-term contract stability, federal growth strategy, innovation and leadership, partnership leverage. These are all opportunities that we can use. Threats. These are always, the things that you have to consider. So basis access delays. All right. Now, key differentiators, we can, what's expected, what is, what essentially is the agency looking for when selecting a vendor. I think this one's a really good one because it gives you a lot of data that I think you can pull from. Let's see, expected by this agency. All right, so DECA is looking for companies that have the ability to handle complex temperature-controlled freight. What they expect from a vendor, why it matters, and how you can differentiate yourself when you're writing this proposal so that you can stand out. Seamless integration with their API system. A proven capacity to execute at a national scale. Demonstrated experience with military or regulated environments. Risk mitigation and backup plans. And then, of course, the support for small business goals. And cost efficiency, but realistic pricing, right? Pricing is always a thing. And then relevant past performance and handling high volume freight. So now I've gotten so much data that I would have never gotten just from reading the solicitation, that I'm happy to move forward and say things like, can you move forward and help me come up with a solution that meets every single one, hits every single one of these key differentiators so that I can showcase how I meet those. And remember, a proposal is a business plan. And your business plan is what's going to cause you to essentially have a plan upon award. So when you win this, when you win a proposal, you want to be able to essentially have a solution upon award. And this is your solution. Another great thing about ChatGPT is it also helps you in creating an outline. If you want to outline, you can ask it to pull up the solicitation and provide an outline to the response. Technical approach, management plan, your past performance, certifications, pricing, any appendices. It'll give you a structure to go from. It'll literally take you word for word, line by line item. So this is the kind of stuff that you can use to help you in regards to writing. Now, another thing that I want you to also consider is graphics. So this is a new one for me. I recently, and me and my son, we fight about this all the time, but I recently started doing images. And I like it. I mean, personally for me, it's fun. But I like the image primarily because it provides a solution to, graphics that I honestly don't have time to create. So when I'm looking at graphics, this helps me. For instance, when I ask for graphics to support a task or to support a section of a write-up, it'll create that graphic for me. And it's gotten a lot better because, if anyone remembers ChatGPT, it didn't always have the best graphics. We had the weird fingers, we had the, melting faces, but now we have a much better view of what graphics look like. So, we can tell it to give us a graphic. And usually what I'll do is, I'll put a section or write up and say, can you provide a graphic for that? And it will. So we'll have graphics developed. And as you can see, they get better. Now, if there's ever a point in time where the graphic comes back and the verbiage isn't spelled correctly, or there's something you want to change, what's nice about it is that you can download this. And I like to upload it into my Canva. So I can upload it into my Canva board and I can edit it into whatever I want it to look like. And what's nice about that is that I can customize it. What if I don't like the colors? What if I don't like the way it looks? And I want to just kind of, just make it prettier. Canva will help me do just that. I can literally upload any graphic I want and personalize it. And it allows you to change the text. It allows you to change the colors. It's super, super easy to use. So whenever I don't like something, I'll just upload it into Canva, alter it, download it, and then put it into my proposal. But I also keep it for future proposals because why not have an arsenal of content to use at your disposal, right? So that's how I use it. You can kind of see how I pull from different things here. But it has been quite a game changer for me when it comes to developing, images. And then I don't know if anyone knows, but if you see here, it has like multitude, like the image generator here. So you can give it any kind of like technical response, task, things of that magnitude, and it will create that information for you. I have made it a whole world to just pull content to be able to do capture. And, I want you all to be able to be successful. And I think this is where, you can use AI to get you to a much quicker proposal, help you build better data, and get you where you need to be much quicker and sooner and more efficiently, honestly. I mean, it was a lot harder to write a proposal just like a year or two ago. Now it takes me half the time, and I have so much more data than I needed before. And so it is a game changer for me, honestly. Now I'm also going to look to see if anybody has any questions. Dun, 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 dun. Keep it simple, silly. Ah, I'm working on a project name. The goal is to goal. The goal is to goal. I need help with deliverables. The audience is audience and it needs to follow key requirements. Yes. So these are all good prompts. Absolutely. That was a template. So I will make sure that each and every one of you has a template for this. But ultimately, you can use ChatGPT to now just write your executive summary. It can help you with your solutioning. Now, I don't ever say, I don't say this to say like, tell them, hey, give me a solution. You should have a solution. You should have some idea of how you're going to perform the work. It could just be that you don't necessarily know how to write it. You don't know how to present it. And that's okay, because that's what ChatGPT is. It's a tool. So you can tell them I intend, these are the requirements. This is the proposal that I need to write. Help me with the solution. And the best thing to do is do it in sections. I have seen people throw a whole solicitation in ChatGPT and say, write me a whole proposal. That is ludicrous. You have to do this section by section. Start with executive summary. Be specific. Give me this. Tell me, showcase this. These are the key things I want to kind of pop up when we're talking about executive summary. Talk about my business in this way. Showcase my core capabilities, whatever that looks like. That's how you want to talk to ChatGPT. Get really specific with it. Don't just say, write an executive summary. And then literally go section by section. So after you're done with executive summary, in most cases, it's your technical approach. So now we're talking about, let's go over this task and literally go task by task. We have to do, systems integration. Cool. Who's our project manager? How are we going to manage communication? What are we going to do as soon as kickoff hits? Upon contract award, what is our project schedule? What will we have scrum meetings? How are our internal conversations going to work to our external client communications? How do we intend to perform the work? What is our risk mitigation? All of that is a different write-up to a bigger piece, to just one section, right? That's just your technical approach. In most cases, you're going to have a management approach, a staffing approach, a risk mitigation approach. So you want to essentially think to yourself, let me do this in bite-sized pieces, and understand that when you're doing that, it's going to help you. It's going to help you because you're going to be like, okay, I can do this, but I don't think I can do it in 30 days because, again, ChatGPT is not you. It does not know what it does not know. You have to feed it that data. So you can say, I can't do it in 30, but I can do it in 60. Can you revise this timeline to reflect 60 days implementation? And then it will do that. And so always double check what it says. Make sure that it's realistic. Make sure that it makes sense. Make sure that it's true to you and that it's constantly pushing win themes. And when we talk win themes, it's the things that push why you are the one that should win. I think Sarah said it best for anyone that's seen our proposal writing course. You have to constantly remind yourself, this proposal has to scream, why us? Why us? Why our company? Why would they choose us? They don't know us. There's 100 other people submitting. Why us? What makes us great? Are we innovative? Are we cheaper but efficient? Are we low risk but quick on it? Do we understand? Do we have a relationship with you? You want that to shine. And so those are the things you have to feed ChatGPT and tell it to write. Those components. Share as much data as you have. It gets better with the amount of data you provide. And using that project section, The more you write in that project section, the more information you feed it, the more past performance, the more resumes, whatever, it will get more full and more intelligent in regards to you and your business. And that's what's going to make it better. Every proposal after that is going to be like gold because it's literally going to know you so well. It's going to know your capabilities. It's going to know your experience. It's going to know your past performance. It's going to know all of your team and everyone that you've hired. It's going to know the work that you've done. It's going to know everything. So as it starts to build that data shelf and keeping it relevant. So I always tell people clean out your data shelf after 3 years because anything you did past 3 years ago, it doesn't matter anymore, right? It's not relevant, especially in technology. So keep it relevant, recent, and it has to still be within scope. So putting that data in there is going to make your proposals even better. But those prompts are going to be key. So after this course, I'm going to go ahead, upload the prompt sheet so that you can access it. I'll also send it to Ashley so she can have it on the website for GovConHacks so that you can have access to it and pull it down as a resource. If you have any questions whatsoever, you are more than welcome to put it in the comments and we will reply. But please feel free to, ChatGPT is pay for the $20 plan, okay? It is cheap. It is easy. It is a professional writer. And though many times I shouldn't be telling anybody this because, my sales, no. Everyone should be able to have access to a good proposal. And I want you all to win. Literally, there is no gatekeeping at GovConHacks here. We want you all to win. So researching, understanding what your solution is and your business. No one knows your business better than you. You could pay me to write all day, but I don't love your business as much as you love your business. You're the one that needs to write. You're the subject matter expert in your solution. ChatGPT is just your tool. All right. So if you want to win those millions, right here at GovConHacks will teach you. But stick to that ChatGPT, take down those prompts, start creating your data and market research, find out who buys what you sell, and find out how to write a compliant and good proposal. And when you do, share your information. Share with us when you win or lose and tell us so that we can answer. And we want to see you win. Share your wins with us, please. I want to know. All right, guys, thank you so much. I'm so happy that you all got to watch us. We're going to try to keep this going. Maybe we'll do a pricing one. You tell us what you need or what you want to see. And I'm happy to create a course and, showcase it live with you guys, whatever that looks like. So, we don't know what we don't know. Share in the comments below. Remember to like and subscribe and have a wonderful Memorial Day. Bye, guys.